David at Stoneyard.com. This is Cottage standard cut. And I just offloaded a box just under 5 square feet. And notice these are 6 inches in height. These are 4 inches in height, 3 inches, and 2 inches. I can't remember the exact percentages, but 40 or so percent is the 6 inch, 5 or 10% is the 2 inch, with this probably being somewhere around 30%. So I unpack it, I put all the 6s, 4s, 3s, 2s together. Then when I go to do the layout, notice I have a 6 inch, and then next to it I have 2 3s. Okay, so in this case I have a 4 and a 6, so that's 10 inches, but I came up with a 2, a 3, and a 3, and then I've got a little gap. So notice I have a long horizontal line here, but I'm going to break that up soon. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to break up the vertical lines. I've been really successful at doing that. And then, breaking up these horizontal lines, I've broken it up here. So I'm going to put a piece here, and that will break up this horizontal line. And again, we've got a long horizontal line here. So this is meant to be dry fit, and we want to kind of blend the colors together. There's some of the pieces have, some indentations or little holes in it. You could fill those, but if you're grouting, you could fill them. But if for a dry laid application, typically those would stay open. Again, this is a travertine. We've got about just under 5 square feet here. So again, that's what it looks like when it comes out of the box. This is what the one box put together should look like. And then check this out, the corners. These corners, you get the same thing. Again, I'm gonna say what it is. 6 inch, 2 inch, 4 inch, 3, 6, 3. And then notice I'm weaving back and forth. So say if we just look at this side, we got a short, then a long, a short, then a long, short, then a long. And then the opposite is happening on this side. We get a long, short, long, short, long, short. And this gap where it's only about 1 inch, that's okay. I prefer it where there's about 1.5 inches or more. These are all cut this way. They're all tumbled, and they're ready to go as they come right out of the box. So this is one of the only stones that we sell that you're gonna have to trim on the far end someplace, say if you're doing a column, but these are all cut up just as you see them right out of the box. So it's an awesome stone. It's the colors, you've got a little bit of orange, some grays, some more yellows and beige colors, almost into some deeper brown colors like you're seeing right here, a little bit of white. So try to mix up the colors because this looks great. And just say, for example, like this little fossil that's in the stone, if you don't like it, no big deal. Just kick that stone aside or cut it off. I think that's beautiful. I've got the stones out of the box. This is a whole box full put together. Let me just randomly put some of this together. So, I've got kind of this yellowish stone. I want to put 2 3s here. So I'm picking out a lighter color. Oh yeah, that looks nice. And then I could go with a darker color or lighter color. I don't know. I guess I'll pick this one. It was kind of beigey. Okay, so that fits right in. And then, again, we don't have a lot of 2 inch, so let's grab one of these 6 inch ones. And so I'm picking out this kind of beigey looking one that we'll put in here. So we've got the yellow, the beige. So, probably somewhere right around here. Like for example, if I take, say, one of these 4 inch and then maybe a 2 inch, So I'm mixing up some nice color. And again, I'm running some horizontal lines. I'm looking at this line where it's fairly long. So let's break that line right up. So I didn't even notice until right now. Look at that. So if I want to break that line up, what I really need to do is this, okay? And it's funny, like a piece like this, you could stand up and that doesn't quite fit. I mean, I can make this fit by sliding this over, but I'm stood up the stone. And for some people, that's okay. I don't love standing up stones, but that's a stood up stone. But I don't think it looks bad, so I'm gonna kind of leave that. Again, we've got this 6-inch that, put a couple of 3s right there. And then again, 2 and 2, so a 4-inch piece would fit right in there, okay? So now I've taken this horizontal line and I've broken it up. And so it's just a continuation. And so you look at what you have for remaining stock, you got the spaces that you haven't filled, the negative space, and you just keep putting it together. And if you back butter each stone as you're going, it looks great. You don't have to do a whole lot of layout, but yet if you do want to lay things out ahead of time, that's a great way, because as you saw, I slid that down a little bit. Now I like this better. And if I was starting with a fireplace, I might leave that horizontal line going all the way through, but I'm trying to show you how to break things up. This Cottage standard cut, it's a Travertine. Best applications, interior, could be a backsplash, could be in the kitchen, you know, could be in the mudroom. The bathroom is a wonderful place, even in the showers. And again, this is a dry lay format. It could be jointed. So, for example, if we want to, you know, joint this, then I just take my standard pattern, which is the 6, and then the 4 and the 2. So what I would do to joint this is I would leave the 6 as is, the 4 as is, this particular 3 as is. If depending upon what I wanted for a joint, I'm going to trim down this 2 and the 3. Like for example, so let's say, you know, that somewhere is around a 1/2 inch, you know, 3/8 inch or so joint. We just kind of pull it apart, okay? And then you can see I'm just going to trim off the top and bottom of this, okay? And now it's jointed. And the reason I say that is the antique white would mimic these colors and blend it in. You could potentially even overgrout it. So think interior, because it's travertine, it's not harsh climate approved, but it's a great stone. It's all pre-cut, it's ready to go. If you've got a bunch of columns or it's a fireplace, this is a wonderful stone, whether you go dry fit or pointed.